Ba-ba-ba-ba! It's your boy, DJZ. And I want you to check out my man Cody over on YouTube at Rasslin Rage. Check his website out, r2youtube.com, and give them a follow, give them a subscribe, give them a like. Ba-ba-ba-ba!
Oh!
This is Rasslin Rage. Do it now. This is Rasslin Rage. Scream it out loud. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. Let's go down. This is Rasslin Rage. Do it now. This is Rasslin Rage. Scream it out loud. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade.
And now it's time for Rasslin Rage with your host, Cody Fleming.
Hey everybody, what is going on? You know who I am. I am Cody. If you don't know by now, well, now you know, and knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Anyways, I am 1/3 of the hosts of Rasslin Rage as well as MI-Dub. I am also one of the creators of Indie Idol, which that's coming back for a return season 2, but it's going to happen in 2022. Maybe we'll see AVZ win it again. I don't know. However, before I start asking some questions here to Joe Broni, the lead correspondent for F5, right? We're gonna talk about F5 Outlawed, but before I do that, I want you to scroll down in the description, and I want you to click the F5 Facebook link as well as Instagram, and I want you to like and or follow them on those social media platforms. And then after you're done doing that, you need to follow Rasslin Rage and MI-Dub, the number one source, and I'm going to say it and I'm going on record, the number one source for all things Michigan indie wrestling. And I will, in fact, fight you over that. However, this is Rasslin Rage, and we're right now, what we're doing is we're talking about F5 Outlaw, right?
Yep.
So first of all, how did you become involved with F5?
I became involved with F5 in their first show in Fenton, Michigan at the compound when the compound still existed. And I loved it. I loved it. It was my first show back in a long time that I'd gone to see, and I'd been in the business many years ago, and it kind of helped to reignite this love. So I talked to Stitches and dusted off the mothballs and decided to ride the mic one more time.
I like it. Ride the mic. I like that. That's good. Well, nothing like that. When you certainly got the voice for it. I was watching the I don't know what you would call it, the introduction or a video that you did for F5, and you certainly got the voice for it, so that's awesome. Outlawed, there's a reason why it's called Outlawed. And it's not because we're outlaws. Well, we are kind of now, but
couple, 2, 3 outlaws.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
2, 3, what I do.
I remember back when I was a little bit younger, and we used to go to these parties, and people would start fighting, and we'd be like, "Hey, listen, you got to stop that." And they're like, "Well, why, man? We like to fight." Everybody well, yeah, we like to fight, but there's a lot of people here that got problems, and they don't want other people knowing they're out here. So,
right. Yeah,
right.
So it's fun to show off until guy with a couple of warrants shows up.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. So first off, F5 Outlawed, the reason why it is called Outlawed, that we were supposed to have a couple events. They ended up getting canceled. The second one got canceled because they said you can't do wrestling here anymore.
Right. The township essentially said that this is not this is not a business place. It's a residential area, and the squares out there in the world decided to make things a little more difficult for the non-squares.
Right.
And us being non-squares, there's always a way around these things. So the compound is no more, but F5 is not dead. It is just, like we say, outlawed at this time. And best part about being an outlaw is there's no rules, right?
Yeah, that's a great thing, actually. because I like no rules. I'm a no rule kind of guy. I've always had a problem with authority. Everybody tells me that. I've always had a problem with authority. But even my parents, I drove my parents insane. But we have some matches here, man. So, first of all, this is taking place after RPW Bowling Point 2, which we discussed earlier today with Chris, the promoter and owner of RPW. 10:30 at night, $5. That's all they're asking, right? $5. $5. But you have Cassidy Keith, who is a big motherfucker, right? I'm just going to put that out there, against Corey Kerr, who's not small either.
No.
But this one, holy crap.
This is going to be the equivalent of taking two things that Rocky would box in the old meat club and slapping them against one another.
Yeah.
So Cassidy Keith is a ginormous human being. He is a legit final boss. Corey Kerr, like you said, is not a small person. The thunderous smacking of meat that's going to happen you just may take the entire place down. Maybe Michigan could fall to its knees when these two collide.
That's a crazy thing to even think about, right?
Maybe with two E's, that which just confused me.
Right.
I don't know. They got to get their shit straight. I have no idea what's going on.
Right. Now, holy shnikes, now I haven't seen this gentleman yet, but Saturn Price. I have not been I don't think I've seen him wrestle yet, but I have seen and talked to, and he's one of my favorite people. He's the most favorite person out of the swamp, the most favorite thing out of the swamp. The scourge of the swamp, Brutus Atwell. Matter of fact, when I did an interview with him, he was in the swamp.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
He likes to do his interviews in that natural habitat.
Yeah.
So, this is going to be the first time I'm going to see Saturn Price as well. But everyone that's into the Michigan scene knows who Brutus Atwell is at this point. The world's most famous rookie. And this is going to be another one of those off the chain sort of things. Saturn Price could be a complete maniac. I'm not too sure, but I know Brutus Atwell is. So at the very least, it's going to be at least a one-sided just destruction sort of deal.
Well, Brutus Atwell talks about eating kids.
Yes.
He also talks about his gators quite a bit. Anybody that just hangs out with gators has got a screw loose. For sure.
So so I don't know if he just talks about eating kids or if he literally eats kids. I think either way, it would not surprise me. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me though. It absolutely wouldn't surprise me either way.
Well, he's the guy that eats the whole the big drumstick, and he just he don't care. He just rips it off. It's not even cooked.
He's one of those guys that when you find out that there's 16 corpses in a freezer on his property, you're like,
that makes sense for sure.
He was a quiet neighbor.
The one thing I love about Brutus Atwell, and I've said this previously, when I first got to watch him wrestle, I think it was at a Pro Wrestling All-Stars event, but he took something that was like a chop in the corner. It's quintessential. You see it everywhere. Every wrestling match, someone gets chopped in the corner, right? He took that and he made something out of it and made it his own, which is really hard to do right now because how much wrestling there is and how many wrestlers, you can't, it's hard to make something your own. And he took that. And instead of doing a chop in the corner, this man headbutts people in the chest with
that head.
Yeah.
And if you've seen that head, it's that head.
Well, I'm a martial artist, okay? I'm a second-degree black belt in Tung Sudo, and I know that is one of the strongest parts of your head right there. Like, they teach you that. Wham! Hit him with your head. It's cool, right? So for him to hit somebody in the chest cavity with that, I'm surprised he hasn't caved in somebody's chest yet.
Right, and his head's the size of a large bowling ball anyway. So I have no idea how people aren't dead.
Right. Oh, and he's in the chat too, by the way. So hello to you. Let's give some shout outs real quick. Tony Garrix, hello. Mr. Brutus Atwell, F5 Wrestling. Joshua Boast, I hope I said that right. Tara Roberts, hello.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, Kevin Jeffrey, hello. Hello to all you. And Rebecca Paul, hello to you as well. Thank you for everybody joining us in there. Make sure that those of you that are here, smash that thumbs up right now. And if you haven't already, subscribe and then share this video out. Listen, I want you to I need people to understand that if you comment down below, not in the live chat, but even in the live chat and down below, or, smash that thumbs up, that helps, man. Even if you don't comment, it helps. It helps give interaction to the video, and YouTube will start pulling more people to the channel as well as this video. So make sure you do that, all right? So
the old algorithm.
Yeah, see, you know what I'm saying. See, finally somebody that gets it.
Push these buttons, you morons. Let's do this. If you like this shit and you want this shit to show up more, this is how it happens.
So this is another match, but this match, the winner of this match is going to get to wrestle again.
Yes.
And then if they win this match, they're going to be inserted into the championship match, which we're going to talk about next, right? But
only in this business can someone do such a good job they have to work twice.
Right.
Your reward is to work again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's for the belt. It's the inaugural belt. I don't know if you've got to see the belt yet. I haven't got to see the belt yet. And Stitches is teasing about it. I'm half expecting to see an HBK photo of Stitches with the belt. Because he's talking kind of, and I know he's got like a belt infatuation, so he's got a lot of wrestling belts, but
he does. I haven't seen the belt. Half of me thinks it's like a girlfriend in Canada. It just doesn't exist. There's just no belt. But who knows at this point?
Wouldn't that be something? And it's like some girl, she comes out and oh man, that'd be great. But this one is
Cody Rhodes weight belt that they threw back.
Oh, there you go. It's a hardcore #1 contenders match, right?
It is. Yes. Yep. The captain, Tony Garrix, BB Cross, they're going to tangle right in the very beginning of the show. And it's going to be a hardcore match. So who knows what's going to be left of either of these guys, whomever wins this. And the winner gets inserted into that championship match to crown the very first F5 champion.
Nice. Now, I've seen Tony twice now, but I have not seen BB Cross that I know of.
I haven't either. I've looked at some clips, and BB Cross looks like a tough guy. Tough guy. I think this is going to be a really cool matchup. Tony Garrix, he's been around for a while, and we know how intense he can get.
Oh yeah.
So, and I don't think Stitches would have picked BB Cross if he couldn't hang. So this is going to be a pretty crazy way to kick things off.
Right, for sure. Now, I don't want to leave this one out because I did have one Forever Young on the other day. Okay, and he is scheduled to take on Top Gun. Mm-hmm. And then we found out while I was interviewing him that there's a mystery third person that's going to be inserted into this match.
Yep.
We don't know who it is.
We don't. I have an idea. I'm not going to let on.
Okay.
Because that's how it works.
Right.
But if my idea is correct, then this triple threat just got far more threatening.
Right. So Stitches says. Tara Roberts says, I've seen the belt. It's real. It's not a chick from Canada, apparently.
That's right. It's my Canadian girlfriend. I got a girlfriend in Montreal with my belt.
Right.
They're going to drive it in. That's good. No, good.
They say it's purdy. So
I believe it's purdy.
I have not seen it. So I am looking forward to finally see it. But here we go. You got this big match, dude. It's huge, right? And
it's huge.
The names. First of all, the first name I'm going to say is forever cemented in Michigan indie wrestling history, whether they like it or not, right? Whether they like it or not, one. Two, even if they didn't wrestle, they would be in history because of their name, right?
Right.
The grandson of Sweet Daddy Malcolm Monroe, the son of the Dirty Black Assassin, DBA, Malcolm Monroe III, MM3. There's your $5 right there. I'm not trying to, nothing against everybody else that's on this card, but MM3 has been wrestling since he was 13 to 12 years old. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure how old he is. I think he's like in his mid-20s now. Okay. So maybe a little bit older, However, he's been wrestling since he was 13.
Yeah. Yeah, and he doesn't rest on his name either.
No.
You know, when MM3 shows up, it's a show.
It is. Absolutely.
Every time.
Absolutely.
Every time. So, I mean, just that, you're right. That name alone would make this, but that's not the only name in this match.
Then
it's gonna be amazing.
Then you throw in, here's another one. Veteran status. Been around for quite a while. Uncle Chase Burnett. Okay.
Uncle Chase.
Freaking legend in his own right. Okay. And I've seen him wrestle a few times over at BCWA. He just had a big match defending his Alliance title over there. And Caesar Asher was in that match. And he made Caesar Asher tap. Mm-hmm. That's not easy.
Uncle Chase is no joke.
No. Then you got a DTA member, Jack Price. You throw that in there. And then you got the hoss, the big hoss, Rick Cartier with his freaking chain, right? And then the winner between Tony Garrix and what was the other gentleman's name?
DB Cross.
DB Cross. Holy moly, dude.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, Rick Cartier, the plus-size Terminator, you know, again, no joke, at the first F5 show, he went toe-to-toe with Chuck Stein, which is not something that most people can do on the daily in a death match.
I'm a second-degree black belt, and I wouldn't do it.
I won't walk by Chuck Stein and mumble in the offhand chance he'll just take me out.
Gusset plate.
So, you know, and depending on who's going to get that fifth spot, all of these guys have held titles across the state, and there is absolutely not a single one of them that I couldn't see becoming the very first F5 heavyweight champion.
No, they all have the potential too.
Yep.
You know, if I had to pick one, I can't. I really can't do it. Can I say if there was some shenanigans involved, I would say it'd be Rick Cartier. I really would. If there was shenanigans, it'd be Rick Cartier. To be honest, I'm not, nothing against the man, but he has a way. He has a way of getting some shenanigans done. Same thing with MM3. Mm-hmm. But Chase Burnett, if there was a match that were to brew out of this into another event, MM3 versus Chase Burnett, dude. Or MM3, Chase Burnett, and Jack Price in a fatal. Oh, geez.
Yeah, I mean, like every one of these guys is a pure showman, and they bring it and they work real hard.
Yeah,
real hard. So you know that I mean, this is the best $5 anyone's ever going to spend when you're looking at these four guys and five guys, whomever number 5 is going to be on top.
Yeah,
and I mean, I'm going to be as completely as unbiased as possible. I refuse to pick because I don't know who the fifth combatant will be.
Right.
But I could make a case for every one of these guys.
Absolutely.
Winning this title. Every one of them.
Absolutely. And that's where doing what we do, right? Like you're the commentary and you also, you're also you're the interviewer for the people backstage back there as well. And myself, I'm just a podcast host or whatever, focusing mainly on Michigan, but that's what makes it hard, right? Is right. To, what all these dudes offer. You've seen them all wrestle. You know what they have to offer. You know what they've been through. You know what they can do. And to say one will win and one won't, sometimes it's just like, dude, I don't want to pick, but I got to.
Right. And from a business perspective, every one of these guys would be a legit champion too.
Yeah.
You could build your company around them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I'm pretty sure every one of them, including Mr. Garrix there, and I don't know about the other gentlemen, but I know that all of these have held titles in somewhere. So there's no doubt in my mind that whoever does win this championship is somebody to build a company around.
Right. I mean, that's a great thing too. So I'm not sure of Mr. Cross's title history, but every one of these guys has been in a championship match, mm-hmm. and they know what the pressure's like, and they know how they're going to be able to perform.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Now, to those of you watching out there, this event is taking place, again, I want to remind everybody because we talked about it a little bit, and I talked about it with Chris as well earlier today. This is taking place after RPW, okay? Mm-hmm. So roughly around 10:30-ish, because you know how wrestling is. 10:30, it starts, and they're going to go, and it's going to be pure insanity because especially if you're there for RPW and stay for Outlawed, or if you're just showing up for Outlawed, one way or the other, you're getting a damn show. And Outlawed for $5. And for those of you that, let me tell you this. So today only, I know that RPW is doing a Black Friday deal for GA tickets for $15, right? So you buy your GA ticket to RPW for $15. Then you buy the additional ticket to Outlawed for $5. Now you spent $20, right? And that's whether you're there, you can buy it now, you can buy it when you get there, whatever. But today only for the RPW, you get it for $15. So now you spent $20. Now you can take the ticket from RPW to IWR, and you can get into IWR for free. So now you got 3 wrestling events for $20.
And that's IWR's Holiday Hell, right?
Yes.
Yep. So I do the commentary for IWR too.
Oh, you do? I didn't know that.
I do. Nice.
I did not know that. So that's the no ring deathmatch stuff they got going on out there.
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
Man, what? So are you, obviously, if you do IWR and F5, they do have deathmatch wrestling at F5. Not, I know they have a hardcore match this time, but probably not a deathmatch here. Are you a fan of deathmatch wrestling? Honestly,
I am a fan. It's one of those little hidden shames, because we kind of we got to hide a little bit. I never did a death match though. I was never involved in a death match because I'm not insane, and that's I think a prerequisite. But so if we're talking like IWR, which IWR were we looking at? I'm talking about Insane Wrestling Revolution in Monroe.
Oh, you know what? I think it's AWR. I'm sorry, Colton.
Oh yeah,
Colton just reminded me. So it's AWR. It's AWIOR, not WIWR. So my bad. I can't remember every freaking acronym.
There's only 1 million.
Yeah, there's only like 7,000 of them, And that's like Rasslin Rage is on Sundays, and that's where we go over the results. And then on Tuesdays, we do MIW, and that's where we tell you about if we didn't have the results on Sunday for that event, we cover it on Tuesday. And then we also tell you about all the events coming up. Right. Well, come Thursday or Friday, I'm going, what time did this event start? And we always say to each other, Dan and Josh and I were like, we know a couple guys that do a show about this. We should know these things. But it is what it is. You got so
much. Yeah, there's so much going on.
Oh my god!
I didn't know that. I thought for all of a sudden Rhino was giving free tickets away.
Oh no,
tickets. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy.
Well, IWR's got a big show coming up, so that's amazing too. But the holiday, what is it called?
Holiday Hell.
Holiday Hell, yeah. So it's AWR that they're giving. If you go to RPW, spend the 15 GA. Now, if you don't get it today and you show up at the door, you're going to spend $20 for a GA ticket for Ruthless Pro, and then $5 for Outlaw, and then you still get into AWR for free. But if you get the ticket today, it's $15, then $5, $20, and you can get into AWR for free.
That's a smoking deal. That's 3 shows.
Right. And the AWR is the, like I said, no ring death match. So it's crazy stuff.
I am a fan. To get back to that conversation, and I never did it because, like I said, I'm not crazy. It's not one of those things that I want to participate in. But I will watch other people harm themselves, and gleefully.
Well, isn't it weird how insane people get about other people damn near killing themselves?
Yes.
I mean, there's whole episodes or shows or YouTube channels or Twitch channels just on people like falling off skateboards or in breaking their arms or stuff like that. And then you put deathmatch wrestling in there, someone taking a gusset plate to the side of their head, or in Mickey Knuckles' case to her cleavage, or whatever it may be. It's just blows my mind.
It's absolutely crazy. And I'm a huge Mickey Knuckles mark. I just am. That woman is absolutely insane. I love watching anything she does. But I don't believe that we're going to be having a death match at Outlawed. There's going to be the hardcore match,
right?
But I foresee death matches coming back to F5 in the future. Absolutely. As just as a staple. There's the very first event, like we said, Rick Cartier, Chuck Stein, Satu Jin. There's a wonderful series of death matches. So those will be coming back, but man, those guys are crazy.
Yeah, absolutely
insane.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I don't mind it. It's not something that I'm going to go like crazy for. I'm a traditional wrestler. Like Rudy, I don't know if you know Rude Boy. Rude Boy, I've interviewed him a couple of times or once, and I've sat down and talked to him, and I like to talk to him because he's very old school. I wouldn't say I'm old school, but I like the traditional bad guy, good guy, right? And there's a story. I'm all about the story. Tell me the story, not only leading up to the match, right, with the promos and the interactions on social media, but then also within the match. Tell me the story in the match, too, because I pay attention to that shit. I don't know about everybody else, but I do. I pay attention to all that.
I mean, I think inherently when it's done well, the story just it permeates, in the ring, outside of the ring. The best deathmatch stuff I've seen also has a story as well. It just, it's just changing up, it's like for people that only like non-spicy food, have that type of burrito. The death match is the spicy burrito, but it's still the burrito, which is the stupidest analogy that anyone could ever make, but I just did. And, but it's the best death match stuff, just like the best traditional stuff it's all about storytelling.
Absolutely. And I believe personally, in my own opinion, and again, it's my opinion. Take it or leave it. Don't like it. So what? You can tell a story in a death match too.
Yep.
You absolutely can. And you can tell a story leading up to the death match. Like the whole thing that RPW did with Mickey Knuckles and Dale Patricks. That was amazing stuff. That's a whole story leading up to their match and everything. Great stuff. Love it, dude. Love that stuff. This whole thing, like the Dread King Logan and the Midwest Scum with Don and his family, all that stuff, it's amazing to me. I love it. And it draws the people in. It really does. The story, the interaction with the fans that's going on in social media right now, it draws the people in. That's why RPW is doing so well, because they're drawing the people in. They're telling us something, and they want it, and they want more, like they're crack. You know what I mean? And F5 is going to get there as well.
Right. It's a little early for the story stuff. It's building though. This is going to build through 2022 and beyond. And F5 is just starting out. RPW has been around for a little while, and you see what they've done.
Yeah.
And really, when a company is focused on getting the story across and moving the emotion of a thing, then that's really when they start to succeed.
Yeah.
And the just a series of spot fests and one-off matches that have really no connection with anybody.
Yeah.
All well and good, but we rented those tapes from Blockbuster, back in the 80s and 90s, and just a series of matches to get that fix. We are living now in a world of so much professional wrestling, so much good.
You ain't lying there.
That if you can't keep up, you're going to fall to the wayside. I really think F5 is going to keep up. I think RPW is going to continue. IWR, AWR, everybody is they're the ones that won't make it will fall to the wayside fairly quickly because there's so much good stuff out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I totally agree with that sentiment. Again, everybody, remember that this show is taking place at 10:30 after RPW. There is a link down in the description for F5's Instagram and Facebook, okay? Joe, I didn't see a page for you yet. Is there a page for Joe Broni out there?
There are. You actually follow it.
I do? I do? See, this is what happens when there's so much. Well, you know what, guys?
It's Joe Broni Talks is all the social media handles. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
There it is.
There you are.
I think, yes, that's you. Look at it's him. I know that guy.
Second most famous guy on this podcast.
So, look at this, dude. You're making it to the Indie Pro 22, huh? Into that game, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's gonna be a lot of fun. So a little bit of a bucket list moment, getting into even a crazy sim game. I made a video game. Done.
That's cool, dude. That's really cool, actually. I think that's awesome. What are you doing in the game? Are you being the announcer? Are you doing voiceovers?
So I'm a playable character, commentary, and then you can choose to bring me either out of retirement or not. I would vote not because my record was like 0-1,000.
But do win-losses really matter in wrestling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking to a guy that never won.
Okay. Well,
once would have been nice.
I'm going to put that back. Once this is done, I'll go back in and edit that and put in his Facebook pages and his social media accounts as well so that you guys can so F5 Wrestling says in the chat right now that F5 is in the game as well. So that's
F5. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned that. Yeah, F5 is one of the Midwest promotions in the Indie Pro 22 game. There's I think quite a few F5 stars in there as well. There's a lot of Michigan people in it.
Well, I know Rick Cartier's in there, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. I just don't know about everybody else. But everyone
should. Everyone should. I think it's good to represent.
Absolutely.
But also, why would you not want to be a playable character in a game? Period.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I would kill for that, dude. And I don't mean that in the literal sense. I mean, like, figuratively speaking.
You don't even have to.
Right.
You can just send your stuff in.
Right. I'll be the podcast guy off to the side starting shit. But
you're the F5 ring announcer.
I am that too. So again, not again, but thank you for coming on and having this discussion with me. And I'm sure we're going to work together in the future. I just unfortunately can't make it to this event.
Well, it's late.
It is late.
It's at 10:30. And so I just want to say I'm super excited to go to Boiling Point 2 before this.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be insane.
Oh, yeah.
And then the second F5 event is going to be absolutely crazy. I'm going to be too hyped up to fall asleep driving home. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, totally take advantage of that $15 deal that RPW has right now.
You only got a few hours left.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like 3.5 or something. I don't know. I can't add. I'm in wrestling. I can't add.
Right.
I don't even count my pay envelope.
Oh, there. I assume. That's awesome. But since you brought up the fact that you're going to be at Boiling Point 2, I got one last question.
Yes.
All right, and it's kind of rigged. But who's going to win the tag team tournament, and why is it going to be Midwest Scum?
Because you said so?
Yeah! Best answer yet. I like it.
Here we are.
That is.
They very well could win. Very well could win. That's gonna. I love that stuff. I love the tournament type deal, and this is gonna be a lot of fun.
Well,
whole night of fun.
Right. You got 2 championship matches in one night. You got the F5. Well, 3. If you take 3, you got Dale Patrick's defending the Rust Belt Championship. You have the tag team titles will be crowned that night. And then you have the heavyweight title with, the big guy.
Now, this is the first RPW tag team titles, right?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
You've got 2 inaugural championships happening in the same evening. Be there for both.
There you go. Part of history. Yep. Oh, Joshua says it's going to be Fear and Loathing. I disagree, sir. I disagree wholeheartedly. It's going to be Midwest Scum. It's going to be all kinds of scummy in RPW on Saturday.
I agree with whoever's in front of me at that moment.
There you go. I like that. You ever watched? So I know we're talking, but we're getting off for a minute. But that's cool because that's what wrestling's about. Do you ever watch the special that they did about Edge on WWE? And he's talking about when they're over in Toronto, and it's him and Christian, and they had a bag of T-shirts they would sit there with. And when their guys, whoever the guy was that would come out, they'd put that guy's T-shirt on, cheer for him, then they'd take it off and put on another one. And they would do this every time. That's what I feel like when I'm at a wrestling show now. I cheer for everybody, and I boo for the guys that I don't like, but I boo for the guys that I know I'm not supposed to like. So
right. It's it's participatory. It's the highest form of theater, and it's wonderful.
Oh, you ain't lying there. That's right. You get there. I talked about the stories earlier. When I'm watching, if I'm screaming and yelling, it's a good match. But if I'm just ultimately amazed at what I'm watching in the ring, not necessarily the spots, not necessarily the chops, but in the story that you're telling me, my Lord, do I just get taken away? And I go back to when I'm 6, 7 years old on a Saturday morning, sitting Indian style on the floor with my old dial 15 stations, maybe if I was lucky, maybe 3, and watching the old WWF on Saturday mornings. I don't remember what station it was, but it was 2, 4, or 7, one of the 3.
See, we had WKBD channel 50 would run it.
Yeah. See, well,
What's the first live show you saw?
Forever in my life?
Yeah. Yep.
First time I had ever went to WWE show was SmackDown, and that was back when they still had the fist over the.
Okay. So you're much younger than me.
Yeah.
So the first live show I ever saw when I was about 7, I think, and it was in my elementary school. So it was an indie show.
Yeah.
Going to my elementary school, and I don't remember many of the matches except for meeting Bobo Brazil.
Oh, nice.
Who worked? He was really old at the time, but he was the biggest human being I'd ever seen in my life. At 7, everyone's huge, but it stuck with me. And he worked a guy with a Native American gimmick, and I don't remember who the guy was. But it was intense. See,
I didn't know indie wrestling even existed until like 4 or 5 years ago, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had no idea. And that's the whole crazy story. That's why Rasslin Rage came into be, and then MI Dub came from that. And then it's just, now it's a whole story. So, yeah, I had no idea. And then I'm like, dude, if I don't know, there's other people that don't know.
Truth.
So I'm like, I need to let people know that this shit's going on, so that they're not getting taken for $120 at the Joe or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And you got, like, for instance, you work with IWR. You got IWR down there, and you got guys that are pulling in. You got Rhino. You got Tommy Dreamer. You got them bringing in Connor. You got Ace Austin. They bring in all kinds of guys from all over.
Hornswoggle showing up.
Hornswoggle. There's
who knows?
Right. There's so many. They had Shane Douglas there last time with Tommy Dreamer. Great times, man. Great people. Great names. That's what I mean. I did not know any of that existed. Now I do. So
that's crazy. And the cool part is, so you got those names in some of these places, and then you got guys like Dread King Logan, who's going, toe to toe. Obviously belongs in the spot he's in with whomever he's in the ring with.
That's my homeboy, man.
It's amazing stuff. So yeah, not to plug IWR in December, but he's taking on Madman Fulton in a match. It's going to be absolutely insane.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the Dread King and I we're homeboys, man. I am his personal homeboy, and him and I, we talk quite a bit for sure. Yeah, and he deserves everything that's coming his way. And see, I had him on, and him and Zach Thomas were on to talk about their tournament and that they're in. And there's some rumors going around, because I don't know if you've noticed this, but everywhere he goes lately that he was a title holder in, he's dropped his title. And usually when that happens, means that something's about to happen, like somebody's about to go somewhere.
Someone's knocking.
Right. And I asked him, and he's, you know how they are. They don't want to tell you. They can't tell you nothing. So I seriously believe like this dude's on the cusp or is signed and getting ready to sign. He hasn't told me personally, even though like I said, I talked to him. I would never expect him to share that information with me so that it doesn't ruin it. However, dude, I would cry. Literally cry if he got signed, because that man fucking deserves it. If you have not seen the transformation he's made, not only in himself, but in his wrestling character and everything that he does, fucking shame on you, because he is doing what is right.
Yep, and that's he's just a part of the scene here with RPW and F5 and IWR, and just Michigan is loaded.
Yeah,
loaded with talent. I mean, I would dare say it's loaded with talent like Texas was in the 80s.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a lot of people on your TV screens that you had just saw in the VFW a week before.
Yeah. And I don't remember who I was talking. I think it was Gutter and Bubba when I did because they were celebrating the 20 years at Metro Pro Wrestling. And I was talking about before COVID, we were in this bubble, right? And the bubble was getting ready to burst, and then COVID happened. Well, now the bubble's filling back up again, and it's getting ready to burst again, and you're starting to see it because other guys like Tommy Vendetta, Isaiah Browner, and there's a few others out there that are starting to branch outside of Michigan, and you're going to start seeing these guys. And like you said, that guy that you've seen at VFW or that guy that you've seen here or that guy you've seen over there, you're going to start seeing them on Impact. And you're already starting to see it because you see guys like Isaiah Moore, the Human Highlight Reel on All Elite Wrestling. Guys like Jason Hotch. You see Sam Beal on Impact Wrestling, active roster member of Impact Wrestling. Boy, what a story that guy is, huh?
Novato is Michigan Wrestling.
Oh, and he is Michigan Wrestling, right?
He's up there in AEW as well.
Right.
So yeah, everyone's on the cusp. The 5 guys you're going to find in the F5 championship match, do not be surprised if they pop up on your TV screen at some point.
Absolutely, for sure. Again, man, thank you, dude. I love these. This was a great conversation. These are the ones I enjoy. These are the interviews I enjoy when it's just 2 dudes or 2 people. All right, just to be politically correct, 2 people.
I think dudes is gender
neutral. Yeah, I think you're right. So 2 dudes. Sit down, 2 Utes, whatever. Sit down.
I'm a Ute now. I'm so far from Ute.
Sit down, talk about wrestling, and just have a general conversation, even though there's a message behind it all with F5 Wrestling and the show that's going on tomorrow in Maybee, Michigan. When I heard Maybee, Michigan, I thought it was a work, dude. I was like,
what did I? Yeah.
I was like, are you? No, come on. Right. And then
I grew up here and I had it's right next to Almost Michigan and right after Nearly Michigan. I have no idea where this place is.
Oh, that's great. I love it. Well, at least I know I wasn't alone then because I was like, oh, are they fucking with me right now? You know what I'm saying? That's what I really thought.
That would be a Stitch's move though, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. It would be him because he's like methodical like that. Because when I did that interview with him and Levi, because those two were going to go, when those 2 were going to go at it, and I did that interview, he's methodical. He really is. I didn't expect that out of him, but he really is a methodical type person.
I'd actually expect to see some information on that come out tomorrow too.
Ooh.
No, it's nothing. Nothing if not a showman. So we'll see what happens there.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, again, everybody, description. Check it out for all the information. Also, if you haven't, please smash the thumbs up. I see 7 ups, but I see 10 people watching. So there's 3 people that has not smashed that thing. So you're slacking.
That's those 3 people. Come on. How hard is it? You made the hard part was clicking on it.
Well,
just go that little extra step.
Right. Well, for those of you that have not hit it, I hope that when you go to pour out your Fruit Loops in the morning, it's nothing but dust. All right. So there's that.
That's so good though, because it mixes in the milk, and then you have Fruit Loop milk. That's messed up. I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of good.
Thank you, Tara. Tara says she liked it and shared. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you
very much. So
all 10 of these people better show up tomorrow if you're not actually in a match.
There you go. Yeah, do it
anyway.
For sure. Obviously people are going to watch this on the replay, and if you didn't know, we also have a Podbean, and you'll be able to find us in audio not only on Podbean, but anywhere that you listen to your podcast, because I am not joking. We are literally on every podcast network in the world. So you just search for Rasslin Rage and check that out. Dude, thank you, man. We really got to get together again. We got some good chemistry here, brother.
Dude, you could use like a 43rd show to do, right?
Yeah.
You have plenty of time.
I got plenty. For sure.
No, anytime you want, man. Anytime you want.
For sure. All right, everybody, make sure that you subscribe, like I said, and do all those things. Thank you to Mr. Joe Broni. Thank you to Stitches at F5 Wrestling. Thank you to all of you that are in the chat watching. If it wasn't for people like you, there would be no me and there would be no Rasslin Rage or indie wrestling in the state of Michigan, and that is a fact. So thank you so much. I hope that all of you are going to F5 and RPW tomorrow. Remember that deal, man. $15 right now for the RPW, $5 for F5, and you can get an AWR for free with your proof of purchase for RPW.
3 shows.
For $20, dude. Not a bad deal at all, for sure. So you all have a great weekend. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, whatever you want to say. And I will see you on Sunday for Rasslin Rage right here on r2youtube.com. That's the letter R, the number 2, youtube.com. And we are out of here.
Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage.